You are listening to Perfect English with Danny. Improve your English every day. Never stop learning. Welcome to a new episode from Perfect English with Danny. We're going to talk about pronunciation in this episode, and to be specific, we're going to differentiate between the long E and the short I. So, long E, like when we say me, T, and B, and the short I, like when we say it and pin. Now, the problem is that if you replace the short I with a long E, words might sound differently, but that's not all. Words might be different words if you pronounce them with the wrong version of E. For example, what if you say sheep? It's a long E, and ship with a short E or with a short I. The difference that we have two words, sheep as in the animal and ship as in the big boat that we have in the sea. Or when we say eat and it. Now, it is obviously the pronoun he, she, it. And eat, when we say we eat chicken or we eat food in general. So, it is important to differentiate between this long E and the short I. Now, let's start with the long E. We will look at words that have this pronunciation at the beginning of the words, in the middle of the words, at the end of the words. We will talk about the common spellings of the long E. That means which character combinations or which letter combinations do we have that produce the pronunciation of a long E. And I'm saying common because they're still irregular places, but I'm not concerned, and you shouldn't be concerned with irregular pronunciations. What we should be focusing on is the regular pronunciation, the usual, the common. And when we come across an irregular pronunciation of a word, you can learn it on its own. It's not a big deal. So, starting with the long E. Remember, if you want to make this E long, it will look like you are smiling. It's an E. It's not an E. It's not a short one. It's a long one. Now, E can be at the beginning of words. For example, we say eat, each, eager, eel, even, either, east, equal, easy, eagle. Now, for these words, try to listen again to them and try to repeat. Try to say them again after you listen. So we know that we can start words with a long E, but that's not all. A long E can also be in the middle of words. For example, we have words like mean, seal, please, need, leave, police, keep, reach, deep, seen. Don't forget to repeat after the words I say. It is a good exercise to repeat so that you can get the right pronunciation of the words. So we had the long E at the beginning of words. We had the long E in the middle of words. How about the long E at the end of words? We do have that as well. And we have a lot of words actually that have a long E at the end of them. For example, he, be, key, tea, fee, tree, knee, free, she, agree. So all these words have E at the end of them. And now, for you to have a kind of reference, yeah, these words are very good, but these are not all the words that you're going to come across that need a long E. So as a point of reference, we have some common spellings for long E, and I will share these common spellings with you so the next time you see this spelling in a word, you might think to yourself that this is probably going to be a long E. So the first one is simply the letter E, like in he, we, me, seen, and these. It could be a double E, like when we say see, feel, deed, heal, need. It could also be EA, like east, lean, team, cheap, peach. Or it could also be IE or EI. For example, we have the words niece, brief, peace, belief, either. So that was about the long E. We have it at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of words. And we shared common spellings, E, double E, EE, or EA, IE, or EI. And now how about the short E, which is actually, I shouldn't be saying the short E because it's not E. It's not even pronounced as E at all. It is pronounced as I. I like it. It's not it. It's not a short E. It's not a short E that when we say the long E, we say eat, and the short E is it. It's not it. It's it. I, not E. It's I. Now, just for you to know how important it is to learn the correct pronunciation of I, the short I, instead of the long E, because you will confuse people when you say, for example, heat. I was hit. What is the meaning of I was hit? Here, people will think you're talking about heat from hot. People will not know that somebody beat you and maybe you're asking for help, because the way you should pronounce the word is hit, not heat, not heat, of course, not a long one, not even a short one. It's a different one. It's not heat, it's not hit, it's hit, I. It's not E, it's I. For example, if mosquitoes bite you and you want to talk about the itch, if you say each, people will think you're talking about each, E-A-C-H. It's a different thing. Each like every. So it is important. I'm just saying that to make you realize how important it is to make the correct pronunciation. It is not only to sound cool or to sound more like native speakers. Maybe that is not the most important thing about pronouncing English correctly. The most important thing is to pronounce words that are not confusing to other people, to make ourselves understood well when we talk to English-speaking people. Now, the short I can be at the beginning of words, like the famous is, or ill, ink, instant, if, itch, inch, it, into, issue. So we have the short I at the beginning of words. Well, that's not all. It can also be in the middle of words. For example, we have the words pin, miss, listen, little, lift, simple, timid, give, winter, minute. So all these words are with the short I. It's pin, not pin, not lift, not give, not miss, not simple, not winter. I know that this might be a little bit difficult, especially for people whose native language is French, because in French, these will be pronounced as pin and lift and give and miss and simple. But this is not exactly the way we pronounce it in English. Instead of pin, we say pin, I, lift, give, not give, give. All right? So now how about the common spellings for this short I? It could be a Y. It could be the gym, the syrup, a symbol, a system, rhythm. This Y can be pronounced as I. It could be UI, like build, quick, quilt, guilty, and guitar. It could also be a simple I, like sin, lips, with, gift, differ, or different. So, these are the common spellings. Remember, I'm not saying these are all the spellings. I'm just saying these are the common spellings. When you see those spellings in words, that might help you come up with the correct pronunciation of the words. So, that was all about our pronunciation episode for today. We have tried to differentiate between the pronunciation of the long E, like in eat, and the short I, like in it. I hope that was useful. This is your host, Danny, saying thank you very much for listening to another episode from Perfect English with Danny. I will see you in the next episode.